In the meantime, though, many mobile money users have already started devising new means of sending money to avoid paying the e-levy. This is not good news for the mobile money vendors, who are now dreading the potential impact of this tax measure on their businesses. Fortunately, Kofi Ajay, who's with our research desk, has joined me to give us a breakdown of the figures. So Isaac, welcome. Let's do this quickly. Clearly, the indication is here. A sign that many people, just about 3 months ago after the initial announcement, are beginning to find other means of using, of sending money. Break down the figures for us so we can understand this.
Right from 2018 December,
right,
and you realize that the number of active mobile money users as of December 2018 was at 18.1 million, users, and then you could see an upward trajectory to 2020 December, 17.1 million, an increase to 17.9 in at 2021 December. And now, as of December, it means that the budget had been read, 2021, and then just see 2022 January, a decline from 17.9 million active users to 17.4 million active users. So the first time we've seen a decline when you talk about
in a space of 2 or 3 months. Exactly. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So the indication is that the trend is that we're going down.
So we'll break this down. The next slide will actually explain.
Give us further.
Yeah. So now here, let's talk about the value of the transaction. So the value of the transaction has also seen a dip. So you could see that as of 2018 December, the value of transaction was at 22.6 billion cedis as of December 2018. And then you could see the upward trajectory to 82.9 billion.
So this was the highest point.
Exactly.
By far the highest point.
Sure, in 2021.
December 2021. And partly, the finance minister has been telling us that online activities during the lockdown had surged.
Exactly.
Right. So this may be one of the reasons, the factors for the accumulating growth.
Exactly, consistent rise. So December, 2021, and then
a sharp
decline.
Right.
Yeah, to 76.2 billion cedis in 2022.
So, Kofi, going by these figures, are we projecting that the curve may come down?
Well, there's another interesting curve. Let's look at this. This one actually tracks. So this one gives you the opportunity to, do month on month. So we are doing this from 2021 January to 2022 January, and you could see the cyclical movement.
Wonderful.
So just November 2021, when the budget was read, so you could see a consistent decline from 18 million active users to 17.9 million, then to 17.4 million active users. The same thing happened to the value of transaction as well.
And just help us understand that when you say the value of transactions, that's got to do with the amount?
Exactly, the amount. So we have total number of transactions we have in the year. It was also on the decline. Then we have the value of the transaction, how much mobile money transactions we make in a year.
Right.
So we've been doing this month on month. So you could see the cyclical movement. It started dropping as of 2021 July. It dropped to 71.7 billion cedis. And as of 2021 September, then we saw it rising from September 2021 from 71.7 billion cedis to 86.1 billion cedis in 2021 November. You get it? 2021 November, and then right after the announcements, the budget was read in November. Persistent, consistent decline from 86.1 billion to 76.2 billion.
So what this means is that there's a clear projection that it may dip further.
Well, let's see.
Or we are not certain.
Yeah, we are not certain
because
the other factors, but we are seeing
we able
a decline.
To point out that part of the reason why we're seeing a decline in the figures is due to the announcement? Because the fall partly started way from December.
Yeah, but there were other months that e-levy was not at stake, but we still saw a
declining figures, right.
Exactly. So we are just hoping that this is not the best time for the value of transaction to be declining. Exactly, because e-levy has been passed, and then if you want to see a decline, it shouldn't be at this point. So it could be one of the reasons. But let's look at elsewhere in Africa. Who has been the story? So we've been looking at
an important story to be on the lookout.
So we've been looking at elsewhere in Africa when it comes to electronic transaction levy. So we looked at Uganda, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Malawi, Benin, and then Cameroon. So Uganda announced an original rate of 1%. Let's look at the effects. So after the announcement, there was a public outcry, and then it was reduced from 1% to 0.5%. What did they do to their mobile money, transaction in the year? So there was a 50% drop in peer-to-peer transactions.
Right. So if we talk about the person-to-person, that's a direct transfer, for instance, I'll do from myself to you.
Exactly.
If there's any transaction.
It dropped by 50%.
Right.
And then there was also a 24% drop in industry. The industry itself had a dip of 24% in terms of growth and other things. But we also tracked Congo. Congo had an original rate of 1%. Then it was replaced with only cash out.
Okay.
Was replaced with only cash out. And then Cote d'Ivoire also introduced an original rate of 0.5, and then it was applicable to only withdrawn after public. It was withdrawn after public outcry, so it means that it didn't continue. Then Malawi introduced at 1%. It was also withdrawn, and then Benin 5%. That was very high. What happened? It was implemented under widespread public, opposition.
So, Kofi, what you mean to tell us now is that at least we have examples of some countries that have gone back, made a U-turn on similar case of the E-Levy as it is.
Exactly. So a perfect example is the Ugandan case where it was introduced at 1%.
But is the situation the same in these countries? Are we able to tell if the coverage and the numbers are the same as compared to what's happening in Ghana?
We saw the trend. Let's just hope that it doesn't continue declining.
Right.
We just pray that it should, because government
that would be good.
Government is expecting almost 7 billion.
Yeah, out of this transaction.
Exactly. It was projected at a rate of 1.75. I mean, the government has reduced it from 1.75 to 1.5%.
Right.
Meaning that clearly we are not going to realize that one.
So the target, so that's even another implication that the target of the 7 billion may not realize that.
Exactly, because we've reduced the rates, from 1.75 to 1.5 at the moment.
Well, Isaac Kofi giving us the latest on the figures. Don't forget that we'll give you some updates as and when we have that. But